What's up, everybody? It's your boy George Carmi from Full Press Coverage, and I'm here representing the Washington Commanders. And today we're going to reflect on the 2022 NFL game themes the Washington Commanders posted out this week. Let's break it all down. Before we get started, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow it. I'm new to the game right now, so I'm definitely trying to build up, and I'll take any feedback that you guys all have. So let's take a look at our schedule. Let's kind of look at our first reactions and what we think. I definitely want some fan dialogue on this, so break it down and hit me up in the comments, and we'll see what we all think about this. So let's take a look. Let's kind of break down the overall 2022 game themes. What I like about this is that first reflection is, for as just kind of set the tone. There are 10 games that Washington will be hosting this year, 9 home games and one additional preseason game. So as a season ticket holder, that's an awesome advantage that we have this year. Essentially having that extra ticket bonus, one less preseason game, one extra home game to basically root on the Washington Commanders and support our home team. What the team did is they basically gave a theme for every single week and broke down. I kind of see it as more of like a monthly, in regard to holiday themes, in regard to inclusivity, in regard to bringing the fan base together. There's definitely some aspects of that. If you look right here, it's the general overview of basically what the team themes are going to be. The first couple weeks, as you can clearly tell, they're trying to bring the fans together to get everyone excited about the new football season. Kicking off the Commanders. We are all Commanders about that in September, and we'll talk about that more in detail. They're definitely going to include the alumni and kind of bring our history into the whole new Commandos era. I know, talking with everyone on Twitter and on social media, the big issue is basically how do we usher in a new generation and transitioning from the Redskins to the Commanders. As we know, the team didn't necessarily agree. They were forced to basically change their name. How do we maintain history but enter in and usher in a new era is kind of what we're looking at. So this is kind of the big overview of basically this of the year. And then what we're going to do is we're going to break it down step by step and see what the team offers, what are some pros and cons to everything. We're going to talk it out. So first thing I want to point out, it's actually pretty interesting, right? The preseason game versus the Carolina Panthers is presented by Pepsi. And I just find that interesting that Pepsi's back representing the Washington Commanders. Because if you remember, FedEx, Nike, and Pepsi were some of the first corporate sponsors that bailed on the Washington Redskins and basically forced Dan Snyder in the NFL. They forced their hand to change the team to the Commanders. So it is interesting to see Pepsi go back with the Washington Commanders again, but I think they're generally an NFL sponsor anyway. But this is pretty self-explanatory. Play football is the first theme. Key activations, which I find a pretty funny vocabulary word right there. So key things that are going on for that game is the return of the marching band, which I think is an awesome deal. Growing up in the DC area, the marching band was iconic in DC. We were one of the first football teams to actually have a marching band in the NFL. And to be honest with you, it's deflating going to the games not having it. So I love the fact that Jason Wright and the business side of the team is reaching out to local musicians and kind of building up the marching band, and hopefully they'll kind of add some more go-go aspects to it, and just in general, more local aspects to the team to kind of make us feel united again. This is going to be interesting. The fight song, who knows what happens over here? From what I understand, the business side essentially reached out to a pretty well-known composer, songwriter. They're going to try to fit the actual Hail to the Redskins theme and melody and kind of incorporate the Commanders inside of that. So who knows how that's going to work out? Definitely the team could do a very good job with it. It could be a really hot mess, and that's going to basically, we'll see what happens with that. But that is going to be interesting seeing that at our preseason game, and I will definitely be there to hear it live. Week 1, sponsored by Bank of America. That's going to be interesting. Jacksonville Jaguars is it's kind of a catch game. You never know. Walking into there, their team spent a lot of money on free agency. They got a whole bunch of people built up on their franchise. They might be a competitor this year, so it's not going to be the walkover game that a lot of us think. But we'll see how it all goes. Ideally, the team starts off with a win. They're starting off with Commanders kickoff. So it's going to be the first inaugural game for the Washington Commanders. Whether they win or lose, it is going to be historic, and I definitely recommend everyone to go out to check that game. I will definitely be there. They're going to have a pregame 9/11 tribute because it is played on 9/11. Obviously, they're going to recognize the legends from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and that's super important as well. As we talked about before, the team is really trying to maintain a balance of moving forward with this new generation and new era of football, but also making it authentic and iconic and important, having that fabric of the Washington Redskins continue with the Washington Commanders. Going down to week 3, we are all commanders. I love this. If you actually keep up with Jason Wright, he talks about maintaining the underserved and to highlight our community and to become fully inclusive. And we're starting to see Hispanic Heritage Month and HBCU Night Out and Pride Night Out. And I do like the fact that we are becoming a more inclusive team. And to be honest, Washington kind of has to do that. It's been a pretty pretty chaotic first last couple of years. We the Washington football team does have a reputation of being a team that has a difficult, I guess, community in regards to the way they handle themselves within the business field. Human resources wasn't present. We do need to save our face and basically become a more inclusive environment. So I like to consider an effort to incorporate everyone, especially our black and brown people that live in the county. I think that's important. I'm a brown person myself. I do see myself in these people that they're bringing to the game. I think it's important that they are going that direction. So I do like that. Awesome food trucks and Latin Hispanic cuisine. That's fantastic. That's definitely a great element to bring to the stadium. When I was reached out for feedback from the business side during this whole rebrand process, I talked about bringing in local aspects and bringing in local food. So I do like the fact that they are going that direction, and I hope it's the bomb, and I hope it turns out very good because there is some awesome Latin food in the DC area. So I'm looking forward to that. Think this is actually, pretty self-explanatory. We know that Tanya Snyder actually spearheaded this and brought this into the NFL. It's something that's near and dear to her heart. Basically, they're going to reflect on the NFL's Crucial Catch Initiative, which is something that she created and came up with. They're going to highlight the breast cancer survivors during the halftime show, which is a great aspect. And I think, it's really cool just kind of seeing that NFL players, even high school players, and kids in middle school wearing this pink to celebrate breast cancer awareness and cancer in general during the month of October. And I do like seeing that in DC. All right, it's gonna be pretty cool. So going against the Green Bay Packers, you'd have to assume this is going to be that retro game, that alumni game. Once a year, Washington does wear that throwback jersey, and I'm assuming it'll be on 10/23. There is, in theory, a fourth alternate uniform that Washington's been talking about over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the game that they reveal it. They're going to highlight basically the 90th anniversary of the team. I would suspect, and this is total intuition, I would suspect that we're going to see some sort of hybrid, like burgundy and gold, like gold face mask, burgundy helmet, kind of hinting at the past and kind of moving forward with the future, all encompassed in this one game. And during the halftime show, they basically celebrate and bring back alumni from all 5 world championship teams. And that's definitely pretty cool too. Week 9, Salute to Service, presented by the USAA, the Kirk Cousins return game. So we'll see how that all shakes out. I love the fact that they're going all in with the whole all black. Guys, the all black jerseys are fantastic. Hopefully you guys feel that way. There was an awesome image circulating over the internet of Curtis Samuel wearing all black. I think that's going to be our blackout game as well. Salute to Service, man, it's going to be awesome. I think they're going to rattle Kirk Cousins. It's going to be shook that game. I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be fun. It's definitely has a collegiate feel that I think Washington's trying to build that fan base up. Around Thanksgiving, they're going to Season of Giving. Toys for Tots Toy Drive, My Cause, My Cleats. As you guys know, that's just something every single year. All the football players have a theme they donate their money to charity. Their cleats are going to be The NFL is really strict on their rules and their uniforms. That's the one week where they actually let it go and give some freedom to the NFL players. And honestly, the best, coolest cleats of the season come out that week. So we're going to see that at home against the Atlanta Falcons. And this is going to be iconic. That Sean Taylor permanent installation. I wonder where they're going to put that. I hope they don't put it up on the club level and kind of remove it from the common fan base, because that wouldn't be fair. But I think I mean, from what I understand, truth be told, Jason Wright reached out to me during this rebrand process, and we talked about what would be a cool installation for the Sean Taylor, this icon, this monument inside the stadium. And from what I understand, it's going to be like a living, interactive statue. It's going to be like a memorial, a plaque. I believe there's going to be videos and reactions of what fans have said about Sean Taylor's, and almost like a running slideshow of things that went on. Obviously, it could change, and the actual physical monument could be different over time. But that is the idea that I've gathered from it, and that's what I've heard so far. So ideally, that'd be awesome. And my biggest gripe is my biggest hope is that it's on the main level for all fans to see, and not just for the high payers and the high risers up there. It should definitely be more fair to the fans. Going down to week 15 against the Giants, inspired change, recognition of the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. We talked about that. Jonathan Allen has been a major player. He's been the Walter Payton Man of the Year, I believe, for the past 2 years in Washington. I could be wrong about that, but he's definitely been donating locally. Nick Sundberg had been that man before in the past with his he had some sort of he was installing laundromats inside schools to clean uniforms and clean school supplies. Oh, sorry, school clothing for people locally in the community. So that was definitely a big push in the past. So they're going to recognize the Walter Payton Man of the Year. And this is cool too, man. The return of the Shop Black holiday market. What happens is around the concourse in FedEx Field, they reach out to local African American vendors to basically sell their items and basically kind of boost the small businesses, which is actually really cool. I experienced it last year. A lot of food, a lot of arts and craft, a lot of artwork. It was actually awesome, and I love giving back to the community. So that's definitely really cool. And yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Definitely check that out. All right, last two. My wife brought this up. It's a rough one, man. I didn't know we had a game on New Year's Day, man. We're gonna be waking up, going to bed around 1 o'clock, then going to the game the next day. It's gonna be a rough little stretch right there. But that is fan appreciation game, so you definitely have to go to that game. What they're going to do is they're going to recognize the Hogs offensive line. They're gonna unveil the new mascot. If you're just doing some deductive reasoning right there, you think if they're going to celebrate the Hogs during the halftime show, you'd have to assume the Hogs are going to be part of the mascot, but who knows? I'm definitely a little fatigued by, fan input in regard to finding the name, the Commanders, and soliciting feedback for the name. But, they're reaching out to fans in regard to the mascots. We'll see what happens. I think the Hogs kind of run away with it, but are the Red Wolves going to come back into the mix? Are we going to have some sort of other kind of push for a mascot? That will be interesting. So that's cool. So I'm definitely going to see how that shakes out. They're definitely going to have their mascot. And what's going to happen is they're going to unleash the mascot. Are they gonna bring it out on the whiteout game for the Dallas Cowboys? We want Dallas. I love the fact that they're building this rivalry up. Hopefully, we can actually make it a rivalry and start winning against the Cowboys. That's the most important thing. It's a whiteout game. So far, I've heard people complain that, why is it a whiteout in the middle of January? I don't have any white coats. My recommendation is go get a white hoodie and go buy that white starter jacket. Make it happen. Definitely represent the team. It is going to be kind of cool rocking that white out. Kind of has that Penn State, Happy Valley feel to kind of get the whole crowd built up right over there. We'll see, man. One little thing that I'm thinking about is, the Dallas Cowboys, one of their jerseys are white. Is that going to be an issue? Should we have done burgundy and gold competition? In regard to the fan base, we'll see, man. I think I do like the white jerseys a lot, like the black jerseys a lot. And I like the fact that they're highlighting them both. So, ideally, I just like the fact that they're doing these themed nights, and eventually, if we really need to, we can get a burgundy and gold maybe next year. So that's pretty cool right there. So, guys, that's my 5-minute reaction in regard to the themes for next year. I think they're pretty cool, man. I think they're pretty interesting. I don't really have a big gripe on any, but I'd love to hear your feedback. Hit me up on the comments here. Hit me up on Twitter at any given time. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And that's your boy, George Carmi. Take care, man. I'll see you all around. Peace.